Mostly because I've not actually done that before, but now I'm actually having to... Oh fuck, why did it done that? Yeah, okay. I don't know why it decided to do a thing where... Is it because I don't have it? Well, I'm pretty... It's still up, but on my screen it's not up at all. If I can find a category for it, because Twitch is being a bit slow. Because my Wi-Fi here is not great. It may be Ethernet, but even back home it's better. And somehow it can't find a category for Rogue Legacy. Are you saying it doesn't exist? Oh no, there it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, now we can do that. And not start on my account that has had 20 plus hours into it. I'd rather start anew. And also once I start it, because god, it feels like it's been a while since I've actually been at the start of this game. It's one of those games where you think you've played for a while, just to find out, no, you haven't. Time just decided to go really slow. And I might as well say it now that this is a 2D roguelike. Well, I think roguelite? With roguelike element? I don't know, because... Well, on Steam it's categorized as a roguelike. But... Wait, really? Well, the new people, because it says 3 viewers, that's at least an extra one. Oh man. Oh, for please sake. For the ones that have joined, welcome. This is mostly just some form of a test. See how well I can do. Because somehow it seems like for stream, well, smaller streamers, doing roguelites like this is somehow doing better. And I guess to summarize this, you're going through these a few areas, trying to get gold to spend on level ups, to make yourself more powerful, have more health. Okay. Oh fuck, Jesus. Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm great. Because I have not seen you in a while, Donsky. Because I'm still explaining more of this game, this is the... Well, is it the roguelike element part of it, where you get to choose which is your heir? Well, in terms of notifications, unless I'm guessing you turn them off at some point. But currently, as of right now, for our air, we have a knave, a barbarian, and another barbarian. That being the classes, where they determine what's actually technically. I know you have school, but I've got uni. The classes essentially upstating what you'll be dealing with, i.e. a knave. Low sands, but the crits are, I think, a lot more common, and crits just almost insta-kill everything. Barbarians, they have a lot of health, can usually do quite a bit of damage, hardly any magic though. And occasionally some of them will just have spells. So I think all of them do, but it's random which one you get. And sometimes they'll have one trait, or even none. And I guess to show at least some of it, some of what the traits can do, I will pick Lady Byrne, who is colorblind. Where the screen will just be in black and white. There are other versions of this where it looks like more, well, beige-ish? Where it looks like it's on an old TV, but not like this. It's sort of like put more brown into it. Where it's like more retro-ish. And you also have this guy, who initially you have to give up all your money just to go through. Later on, it does take a bit though, annoyingly. You can have it so that you pay less, but the problem is that that goes up to 50%, and it's always how much gold you have. So trying to save up without like spending beforehand is difficult. I know you're saying meal school, but it's not like last year where I was mostly just at home. And yes, occasionally there will be shrines where you can get certain items that can help you. Hedgehog's Curse does not help you. Because if you've ever played any Sonic the Hedgehog games, then you know what happens as soon as you get hit once. You lose, well, if you have rings, then they disperse. And somehow I ended up getting it quite a lot recently. And later on you can get, well, dashes, glides, essentially hover, different armor that allows you to have different abilities, like even vampirism, where every time you kill an enemy you restore health back to you, but it's usually at the cost of damage and health. And you'll eventually get more classes than just the Knave and Barbarian, which is what we have right now. And there will be just some abilities or even spells are just not good, because the Blade Wall is not good. Because what it does is just puts a giant sword right in front of you. And it doesn't stay there for too long and you can't even move it. The axe is helpful, but it's not helpful when there's a trait where you don't know how to use magic at all and you just send it backwards. The dagger can be helpful when you just want to get rid of it in front of you, but it does not go through walls, and yet the axe does and the blade wall still doesn't. So how about we choose Sir John? So now we can get the smithy. Where now we can get, well, once we eventually find the blueprints for armor and weaponry, then we will be able to use the smithy properly. And with this, with more upgrades that we buy, we'll be able to get more towers, meaning that we can just get more upgrades. but it will take a while. Or at least it feel like it will take a while to do. And yeah, he's essentially just saying any situation of he'll give us armor, but we're gonna have to pay for it, and to get more blueprint they're gonna have to be found, which are usually found in iron chests, and usually you're able to find those right outside of a boss room. But there's only 4 of them in the game, and all of them are really difficult. I am not joking. It can take you forever just to attempt to do. And I'm already fucking up. Yeah, I've been surviving any time, but yeah. It can take you a while just to attempt to do the first boss. Oh, and here's nostalgic, like I was saying earlier, where it looks like that. Where it looks like there's an actual grainy filter on the screen. Not like black and white, but take the standard one, add some brown to it, and it changes somewhere. It's like reminiscent, because, well, I mean, that's what nostalgia is. And yes, the castle always changes. You can eventually make it so that it stays the same, but I'm pretty sure you can only do that once. There's the example of the axe. Now that's really helpful, mainly for when you're trying to get those, get certain chests. This is a wooden one. You know it's iron because it's got grey bits on it instead of just being completely brown. And if you veer too far off to, well, up, right, or down, then you will enter new areas that are just difficult. Especially the one down below. Mainly because, oh, I don't know, it's in the dark. And it's just very small corridors. Yeah, currently we can barely take any damage at all. Oh, there's one ability that I kind of like. Hypochondriac. No, not that. Hypochondriac. Where pretty much anytime you take damage, instead of it showing the actual value, it is like quadrupled. I don't know if it actually is, but it very much does look like it is. And now we've upgraded the knight to a class I don't like, because it's using a shield and I often forget to even use the fucking shield. And now we've made our, well, carrying capacity higher, which is needed for the new, well, eventually later armor. And now we just got the Enchantress, quite literally meaning that we will eventually just have boosts to, well, our sword and pieces of armor. So it's this one, where if we do buy it and place it onto the sword, it'll mean that, well, eventually with left trigger and right trigger, you'll be able to dash forward, making like backtracking much faster. And the vault room quite literally gives you a mid-air jump, Can't buy any of it though, because we're poor. Poor and weak. I know it's right at the start, but this, I might as well warn you that this game can be a bit difficult, because I've already, oh yeah, you saw it right there, that it said 2,360. We didn't take that much damage, that's just the value it says, because of the hypochondria. Just the exaggeration. Now, because of how much gold we're getting, there are ways to increase how much you get, but at this rate it's not worth it because the class specialized in it barely gives you much of an extra bonus, because I think right now it gives you 3 extra, which does not seem like a lot and is too weak to consider worth using. I know because of how much I tried to use it and it was not fun. Because you're just that fragile, and because you don't have much in the way of invincibility frames, because I think it lasts a second, which you can improve upon, but it's really costly to do so. Actually, I really do not know. I don't know if music volume is high enough. Okay, now it's too loud. God damn it. Really? How? Well, I don't know what's an acceptable level that isn't just what I'm hearing. Well, it's more like what I'm seeing on desktop audio. Seems like as of right now it's fine. Unless someone in chat can say otherwise. Oh, is it gonna be one of these pieces of shit? But you see that fairy chest objective where we can get runes? Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. Where you can't get to that place. You just have to have magic making it so that you can get to them. Or more like kill them. Which is never fun, because how are you supposed to predict if they're gonna appear and when? Well, here's a class that isn't one that we've already seen. The Mage is quite literally just one that specializes in magic, because what else is a mage gonna do? And yes, that is an interesting trait of electorophobia, where chickens occasionally do appear, and even though it says chickens freak you out, I feel like that's just in the case of they do more damage, but they can still die very easily. And I don't know why. I really congenital insensitivity to pain. Let's go with that, sir, and day. Oh, we can actually upgrade the Mage. Master of all the arcane arts. I feel like that's just stereotypical, isn't it? Yeah, that's the mind of the one I was saying earlier. Too fragile to use effectively, honestly. And I really shouldn't, like, just buy that. Or even either of them. Because with the Squire Helm, yes, the weight goes up. But we have enough, and also health and mana go up, and we need to find the blueprints for all the others. But also, I really do want that dash, because that just ends up being really bloody helpful. And I guess a no pain is just a way of saying Yeah, you can't see your health bar. Deal with it. Just try not to die. Challenge, but I'm not gonna be able to get the gold from them, and that's a mini boss. Don't want to be dealing with them, like they can be real, just not fun at all. And I died that quickly because I keep on forgetting how weak I am. Yeah, how about we go with tunnel? We just got nothing for peripheral vision at all. I feel like that just ends up meaning that you get no warning for when attacks come in. I don't know, I can not always check what they entirely do. Some of them are like self-approaching, others that are. Those eye things, the white eyes, they're a precursor to what will be coming on. Like in terms of the first actual boss, which I'm in no way in shape for at all. Of course, my weapon is not. Hit those spines. I'm pretty sure pressure activated, where only if you walk on them, then spike up quite literally. It can be really annoying when there's a room surrounded by them and you're trying to do a jump. And also that's one very annoying feature of this game, where you can take damage by touching an enemy. Which is never fun because you're like one hit from death, you're trying to escape and you're dead. Oh, glaucoma. I feel like I rarely see that, but I'm guessing that's just one way you can barely fucking see anything. Conduct electricity? Yeah, if I ever find them, that is. I'll go with Sir Jarvan. Ah, okay, yeah. This is recreating the look you get in. I don't know what the area is called, but it's essentially the dungeons. And what I'm doing, and what I've been doing for. I really don't know how long it's been with what the game is. You restart over and over in a castle that changes, unless you say so that it doesn't. With a different character every time, slowly getting more powerful. Until you can take on bosses and survive longer in the castle. It can feel like it will take a while, and honestly it can. I feel like it ends up being refreshing new because, well, you don't know what the layer will be. Because if you don't know what it will be, well, it's just new every time. And you're eventually just gonna find a room of bullshit. Because you're always gonna get one of those. Because I'm pretty sure it's technically randomly generated, like each time. But it would have to be. Well, still keeping some restraints of a flow. I not making it so that they'll just summon these reds only enemies and you've got nowhere to go. Okay, we can continue with the burn line, or go with Hiroko, or Hornsby. Neither of them sound great. I guess Lady Hiroko it is. And now we have enough to increase our damage by 7. But it only goes up to 24. Yeah, I don't get that. How can it say it goes up by 7 but it's not 25? This game doesn't always make sense. And now we can get the Squire Helm. Health is up, mana's up. And well, okay, we don't have the dash ability. But I'll get that after buying the Squire limbs. Because then we have, well, the armor that we can actually get. Eventually, you know, like I said, we can get vampire armor, which comes in red. But there's I'm pretty sure that there's somewhere, instead of it giving you health after enemies, increase the mana, unless that's just an ability within itself. I know you can get it in a room. And there's also a class later on where it quite literally centers around health, where the more you kill, the more health you get. Like, as in the max health increases, not like it restores it, that's separate. And yes, those bloody skirts and you just throw a bone through the wall. Because they don't like to be dicks like that. These bloody frosters. Later on they can be really fucky because they can just swarm in a group. And if you can't overcome many of the enemies, prepare for pain. But even when you can, they get hunched up and you struggle. Again, you're just gonna have to wait some enemies out. Otherwise, you're just not living. Oh, and here's a part of the game that is only good for an achievement, which I already have. The journals. They really don't help. Apart from it's just stuff for, I think, the start of the game where you killed the prince. We already had the first one. There's 23 to get. And it's the closest thing you have to plot. Seriously. And clearly there's some form of cure somewhere. Which I think I might, well, I think you might find you have to, well, beating the 4 main bosses and then any extras, because you saw at the start that there's a massive gate, and they already said that there was 4. You kill off the 4, then you get closer to opening that gate, and I think that'll be where the final boss is. I don't actually know. I know, shock. But that's mainly because, like, I end up thinking this game takes longer than it does, even though I played about 20 hours of it. And yet this is currently one of the more difficult areas. But I'd say it's, out of the 3 more difficult areas, it's the easiest. That doesn't say it's easy though, just easiest. Oh, and IBS, of course. I feel like that's just the one where you occasionally fart. And I don't know what it means by there is no spork. I'd rather just stick with the name of Lady Joanne. Pardon me. I don't know when I will stop streaming at this rate, because I could stop at like 22:45, or my normal time would be in 8 minutes. But surprisingly, 2 viewers still. But like I said earlier, left trigger, right trigger to dash. May not be much, but it can be a real fucking lifesaver. So I'd say, in most cases, like at the start, your plan is to try not to find the boss room. Actually, no, do attempt to find it, but don't attempt the boss at all, because you will die. But most of the time, as of right now, it's just defeat enemies, find gold, find chests, any chest, because if you find a fairy chest, then you can get rune from them, get extra bonuses. Find regular chests and you're gonna get gold from them. And also occasionally on chests you can do things very occasionally. It's really not fun. When you dash into a fucking wall. Well, a door vase. Oh, it really is not fun, but I can't do anything against that. Well, if I could, because I'd be able to get room, but it's an enemy in a position that none of my weapons can reach. Because I've only got one, and my magic ability does not help me in the slightest. Yeah, I was expecting that because I can't just glide over. And I only have one jump. No mid-air jumps for me. Okay, yeah, I'm guessing it's not gonna add more until we buy the miner or the architect. But I barely even use the architect, because usually I die before I get a chance to really use it, or I just don't need it. And I do hate those zombies that randomly come out of the ground. I mean, yes, if you can oko them, it's no problem. But you don't expect them, there's nothing on the ground stating, oh, they're gonna appear out of nowhere. You just have to expect it. As I talked about, is I just don't. And I guess I can say this now, but because of how much you will be going through these areas, you will notice that the more difficult areas have just more powerful versions of the enemies you already fought in the main castle of Hamson. Oh, the Devil's Crown has taken a while. So I guess that's a curse. Well, it's a cure, but I'm guessing a curse was put on the castle by the Sharon. Well, the devil. Oh, pilfered. Oh, nothing. Surprise play for any and all who has at the depths of the castle. He said it's fair. It is fair because all who have entered, none have returned. That is not wrong, considering in this game you are new characters every single time, which ends up being very similar to Zombie or Zombie U. Because in that game, once your character dies, you are someone else. But at least in Zombie, you could reclaim what was previously yours. This, technically no. Well, yes and no. Because in that it's items, in this it's mostly money. That just makes sense for, you know. Well, making the game less frustrating, otherwise it would be like Dark Souls where you have to go back in to find where you died. Unless they just randomly place it, but then they wouldn't be able to do that because the castle changes every time, so it's just... Okay. Well, it's just more convenient to give you the money every time instead of having to find it again. Yeah, okay, yeah, didn't realise 9 health. Fucking great. Glass cannon over here. Except I'm not powerful enough to be a proper glass cannon, I'm just weak. Didn't realize that thing was called a plinky. What? Okay, so you see some of these enemy names I don't understand. What do we have now? Okay, so you see, the keyboard, can it stop going off? 2 knaves. A Lady Sonia, 2 sirs. A prosop, I can't read that. Can't tell people apart. Even though I feel like that does not change much in the actual game itself. I guess we can go with Lady Sonia. I'm only able to buy that just so I can... increase our attack power. Not by much. But something. Definitely be helpful later on because we can't rely on crits. Sorry. Sorry. Still got cold early. It's awful. Because somehow the cold is the only thing I can get. Despite other people I know possibly having COVID, I don't know. Well, I also know some others have like freshers flu or something. Okay. I'm guessing that's not what I got, because I just end up getting cold all the time. And I know I should dash for any of that. And I just didn't, because I was trying to sort out my eye. There is an item allowing you to see which one of these gives you the money, but otherwise you can't tell, because if you look at them, then they all look identical apart from the one on the phone which is blurry. But most of the time you're just gonna get that, and it's not like you can attack the person. Nah, you're just having to suffer. Yeah. That's fun. How many times am I gonna die because I land on the enemy's head and I die because of it? So useless. Well, I think someone decided to put that in there, realizing that can describe at least one person. That person at this rate being me. And also no traits. It doesn't even say traits none. There's literally none. And I'm going to use them. Yeah, I've got really hardly any fucking gold on that one. Because the runes were just fucking... still haven't got my favorite, well, my two favorite classes. The Hokage and, oh, I can't. The last one? That was so hard. Like, we're stuck with the Paladin, the Mage, the Knave. Well, I'm pretty sure the Knave eventually becomes Assassin. Like, I know all of them can be upgraded because that just makes the game much better. And this is just fucking funny. Because if you know of the Flash game on Newgrounds, you know where this is from. Seriously. But if you don't know, it's from a game literally called Don't Shit Your Pants. The game can be beaten in about 10 minutes. But it is just so fucking stupid. Oh, fuck. I'm not fucking doing that challenge. Fuck no. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit at some point. Oh, there's fucking nothing here. Unless I was a midget. Could you see that dark grey bit off the wall? If I was a midget, I'd be able to go straight through that. Except, no. And you can't always be a midget because sometimes you end up having gigantism. Like that one episode in The Simpsons? Years ago. Sir Culp, Lady Jane, and Sir Gouda. I'm sorry, since when did we have fucking cheese in here? And now I can get the other rune. Just about as well. But the minute jump will be nice. And there is a thing I could bring up, but we haven't unlocked the rune, so I can't mention it. I really want to, because of how much pisses me off. And I don't know how long it will take for me to get it. Because it's based on way too many factors. I wish you could destroy those bloody cannons. You can't even damage them unless they hit you and you have a certain ability. Where any damage done to you is dealt back to the enemy. I hate this because I can never get the timing right for the down stab. Because usually I just end up doing a normal stab anyways. Or I just do it too early. I haven't got another journal, the fourth one. I know I haven't read any of the other stuff properly, but I can do it now. Everything about this cave, well, this castle is off. I can't seem to keep track of my headings, and there is no sun or stars to guide me. I find myself backtracking constantly, and I must painstakingly map out my progress as I go in circles. The amounts I have pilfered off the courses of other adventurers are breathtakingly inaccurate. It is almost as if they were describing a different castle altogether. Perhaps this place does something to the mind. All the sun truly shifting beneath my feet. Or, you know, it's constantly changing. As soon as the character dies, then it's just random what you get. I still hate the thing of, I just take no fucking damage and, yeah, no. Well, I'm guessing I will have to just prove that a certain class fucking shit. Oh, Lady Burn the second gigantism like I was mentioning earlier. So Skunky. I'd rather not. Let's go with the name. Oh, I still can't get it, I don't have enough. But I can increase the damage up to 27. Not enough for Okos. Because that's gonna have to be a lot later. Like, we can do hit most enemies, and then we get a crit, then it's Oko. But eventually for that we'll be able to get crit damage on, and then for actual bosses, we'll need the crit damage increase. And I haven't even gone to any of the boss rooms to show you what the bosses end up looking like. Even if some cases you do get precursors to, and the bosses just end up being larger versions of enemies that are even more powerful than the standard ones. I guess powerful is standard, but more annoying because of how much health they have, and also the damage is mostly end up coming from AoE attacks. Which, trying to get out of the way of them is not fun. Having still do not have enough. Whereas I can increase my health up to 200 and not really give a shit about magic, because I often don't, unless I absolutely need to. And okay, somehow it's gone to 22:39 really quickly. And I can end the stream. Lad. Auto 11, I think I'll go to 11 itself. And not go further. Because then I'll just end up making this and I would go to midnight. Like I used to go to. Except now, I just don't want to go that far. Ah, bloody hell. Still hitting those fucking spikes. And yes, being the barbarian at this point in the game is great because you can take quite a few hits. Eventually, at some point, you just can take so fucking many. And you can randomly come across different spells. It doesn't like add to the amount you have, it just full on replaces it. Which, because you at least get to see which one it is, it's not like, oh, it's a random one rune that you could just be screwed over and it's not your fault. Oh yeah, there's the iron chairs I was mentioning. Oh. Great! You're doing that really annoying because you're doing scale. Ah, that we can also get. Stat increases. It's not by much. But, tell you what. You could be a lot worse. Because they could really be dicks and just have a chance of nothing. Like, not like a high chance, nah, just often enough that it pisses you off. And now we can get the miner to show you how weak it is when we eventually get the miner. Trained more in the art of making money than killing enemies. Problem is that, like I said earlier, the bonus is not enough. But if we had that much fucking gold, could make him a, well, Splunker, where the headlamp is only good for the darkened areas, and if we even had enough, we'd be able to up the amount of gold we have. So, no, and like I said, I think the best interest as of right now would be either make barbarian kings, or make knaves assassins. Because with that, the epic shout is quite literally just Fusrodar. Which I'm pretty sure everyone in this raid knows what Fusrodar is. And yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the abilities was restoring MP every time we hit, well, destroyed anything. I didn't fully check, and of course it's fucking spiky. Oh my fucking god. Just dying all over the place. We lost almost all of our health very quickly. Ah yeah, Land of Darkness. The worst one. Seriously, at least we can get these teleport pads. Send us back to the start. Those, well, they ended up using spawning or boss rooms, I'm pretty sure. So we're already weak as it is, and now we're gonna make ourselves even weaker by being a miner. And it says a huge bonus. It won't be a huge bonus. Because previously we were getting 10, and now we're getting 13. Yeah, huge bonus, and yet it's only 3 more. That's really a lot, I can really feel that. And yeah, much weaker because we barely have any help to survive. Oh, I don't like that guy. Because I can never do the carnival. Where pretty much you have to try and time it so that you're hitting targets with the daggers. But after like the first 3, it is not easy. Actually for me, the first 2. I don't know if with the miner you're more likely to get gold. But it definitely seems like it's in the realm of... It says huge bonus. It's 3 extra, which is what? An extra 30%? That's not huge. Oh god. The twins, or the dude. Preach myself to praises. Yeah, I do, which only increases my magic by 5. Not helpful. Just neither at all. Because I still need 420 to get either a barbarian king or an assassin. And as you are likely noticing, every time you turn left or right, there's no animation indicating that we're in 3D, because that was one of the traits. But we just can't see 3D at all. It really doesn't change much, it's just a visual effect. A lot of the traits end up being that. Really, now we can get the other things in? Strange. I was expecting not to have them for a while. Okay. Certainly, some of the enemies, you just won't get close for a while. Well, many bosses you absolutely won't. But, like the Corrupted Knights, you're just not gonna get good on them. Most of the regular enemies, yeah, eventually you will be able to. Unless it's the Frostons that somehow survive on pretty much 1. Very stupidly. Of course. Or you'd think that they would die. On the map powerful. Killed them last time, except nah. For some reason now, I can't OHKO anything. Do the same amount of damage. No OHKOs. Or you just get random bosses like that, mini bosses like that. Yeah, I'm not the greatest fan of that type of zombie, because it's fast, you can't try and go over here to attack it, so hit once and then get out of the way. Clearly I must have forgotten that the 2D situation affects enemies as well. It mostly just removes any animation, it just flips the sprite. Oh, bloody hell. Ah! There's a blueprint for the Squire Cape. Well, is that just gonna be like all the rest, where it just improves magic and not damage? I kind of wanted to die, even though I don't have enough. So use as a second? What? Why are they all seconds? Because we've got Sir John, Sir Lee, and Sir Useless. I'll have to go with Sir Useless. And I want to actually see how much this is. 300! But also plus 4% crit chance. That's actually really helpful. I know that I could have gone the other stuff, but the extra crit chance is great. Because I'm pretty sure even at this point, crits are OHKOs. And I'm going to be needing as many of those as possible. The problem is I don't know what the current chance is of getting a crit. I will eventually know, and it's different for every single class. But as of right now, I'm clueless. Oh, no, no one! the squire chest, which means we can get the full set. And yes, also because of how the bottom line is, you can't tell the difference between the mages whether or not the fire or ice until they start attacking. Yeah, I fucked that up because I thought it was going to be one where you have to avoid damage. I just didn't look. Fuck's sake. That's why you don't go into the... Sir Taco will experiment why you don't go into the different areas until you're better prepared. Okay, yeah, that's actually going to be helpful because that's extra armor, which means less damage being taken. Retreat in the room of the star, and then into a room where it's a clusterfuck. Quite literally. Ah, here's a bloody mini boss. Surprisingly, it was easier than I expected. Especially some of the other ones, where they are really not fun. Will we get the hedgehog curse again? No, we have the Hermes Boots, which pretty much make it so that any spikes on the floor don't damage us anymore. How long until I can find them? And annoyingly, because of how things are, it's not permanent. It's only until I die, which means I can't have it carry over to the next character. The only item that can do that is Sharon's Idol. But that's a one-time use, and it's used up as soon as you enter the castle again. But what it does is make it so that you don't have to pay up his toll when you go in. Instead of it being all of it, or eventually up to 50% of your total gold, there's nothing. Okay, so we're kind of alive. Even if it's just gonna lead me to the worst area in the game. Which means I just might as well go back this way to go upwards, because I got nowhere else to go. I really do hate this, because you see, oh, you still can't fucking go through it unless you're an actual midget, which I'm not always going to be. God, that was close. Oh God, no. I'm having to do how much when I've got no health left? Yeah. Now I can just prove, oh yeah, the Hermes Boots do work. But attacker was slain by a flame lock. And whatever that translates to was Otaku's parting words. And yes, that happens in every single death. I just have not mentioned it up until now. Oh. Well, there's Sir Skunky again. As well as Sir John II. And Lady Annabelle. Where we are dealing with dwarfism. Unable to see in through these somehow. And anything far away is blurry. Pretty much me. Because I am nearsighted. Anything up close, great. Anything far away or even small, yeah, I can't fucking see any of that. And we now have enough for either of them. But not enough for both. God damn it. Because we need 840. But if anyone is still here, because I know Viber you said you were banned but didn't say much else. Before I end the stream, which one would we actually be best to go with? Okay. Okay. This is wanting to know either to upgrade the knave into the assassin or barbarian into barbarian king, where we picture 2 would end up being the knave into the assassin, where we just turn into bloody mist. Yeah. I don't get to show it because I'm a barbarian king, but I will. I could end it here, but hopefully, once this character dies, I will be able to get Barbarian King next, just to show what it actually looks like. I'm not saying I want to kill off my character this quickly. Oh great, I'm doing a mini boss as well. Ah! Fuck! Ah, yeah, now we can get an assassin. Haha! Lady Jane, who we saw the name of earlier. Dextrocardia, MP and HP pulled are swapped. Literally just the positions of them, and nothing else. And now we can buy this. Which I wasn't lying when it was just essentially just a Fusro's art. But instead of it being that one person to send them flying, it just pushes them away. With that, well, yes, Shinobi, a great class, because it may not be able to crit at all, but it can pretty much OHKO every single enemy in its path. So it doesn't even need crits. So it's great for clearing out areas, it's just not the greatest for bosses. Because usually for bosses you end up wanting high damage and high crit chance. The Shinobi just doesn't offer it. Fucking yawn. Surprisingly, it doesn't use up any of the MP at all. And I wish I had enough for that, because that would be great. Because I'd be able to finish off the entire sector. Okay, I don't know if... Actually, I'm gonna have to see now. Okay, it does. This is one of the bloody mini bosses I mean, you can deal with, unless you're like me and you just get trapped into a fucking corner, can't do anything. And I think I can end it there because it's past 11, and I mean, I did go up to level 14 in the short amount of time I played this game tonight, because I don't know how much of it was Dark Souls, how much of it was this game. Meaning at some point I'm going to have to split this up for when I eventually turn into a VOD that no one will watch except for me, kind of. Well, more like I'm going to watch the progress bar go down. Well, go up for when it eventually gets put onto YouTube. Hopefully with no copyright claims, because I don't think there would be. But at this rate, you'd be fucking surprised. You have a good night as well, Viper. And I shall end it on these notes of ciao for now, return here for Saturday possibly.